Hey guys, what's up? It's Drew here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a loadout for the hunter that I made that focuses on lucky pants. For whatever reason recently, I've been really fixated on finding a way to make lucky pants viable. I love the concept of the exotic, and I've been wanting to use it in an actual useful manner, so here's my attempt at that. So for this loadout, you're going to need the Crimson Exotic Burst Hand Cannon, the Ikelos SMG, and a single-shot grenade launcher. I found the Truth Teller to work best for me. Alternatively to Crimson, if you want to go for something a little bit more lethal, then you can use the old-fashioned or a kill clip hand cannon, or instead of a grenade launcher, if you don't fancy that, you can use a quick draw or high handling sniper like the Long Walk, Alone as a God, or the Ikelos sniper. In my opinion though, this loadout is really crazy with the Crimson, Ikelos SMG, and Truth Teller. So this loadout works with any hunter subclass. I do recommend using Marksman's Dodge though. This is going to be for your single shot grenade launcher or your Ikelos SMG, just to be able to reload it instantly if needed. The only real recommendation I can make for your cooldown mods with this loadout or your subclass choice is perhaps investing in more uptime on your dodges through Arc Strider or some cooldown mods. So firstly, with our loadout, let's talk about Lucky Pants. Lucky Pants have a few different abilities. Firstly, they grant quick draw to any hand cannon, which allows you to swap to a hand cannon very quickly. This doesn't affect your ADS speed though. Secondly, Lucky Pants improve the accuracy of hand cannons for 3 seconds, but more on this later. The exotic perk for Lucky Pants doesn't show any of these effects because it currently shows only the third, later added effect of every time you land a headshot, it loads another round into your hand cannon's magazine, with the idea being that you don't have to reload that often. The two main perks we're going to be taking advantage of though is the quick draw and increased accuracy for hand cannons. Quick draw in Lucky Pants, like I mentioned, allows you to instantly ready any hand cannon you have equipped, which will allow us to make better use of some of the perks and attributes of the weapons we're using in this loadout. As I mentioned though, the Lucky Pants do increase hand cannon accuracy for 3 seconds after drawing the hand cannon. But what does this really mean? Unfortunately, there's no real way to fully quantify what this is doing or explain it, so you'll have to trust me and try it out to see the big difference. All I know is whatever Lucky Pants are doing to hand cannon accuracy, I want it all the time. Let's try and understand though what accuracy is in Destiny and how Lucky Pants improves that. I'm going to try and explain this as best as I can. Accuracy is a really broad term in Destiny. To my understanding, and with the help of the very wise and all-knowing Keen Koala from Crucible Radio, this is how it works. There's 3 concepts: bloom, initial accuracy, and accuracy cone. Initial accuracy is how far out in a straight line a shot will go with no deviation. It always occurs even on your first shot, and it's affected by range and aim assist stats. After your reticle comes to a rest, there's an unknown period of time where the accuracy cone resets to initial accuracy levels. Bloom is what occurs after initial accuracy, as your straight line balloons or expands into a cone. When you fire during bloom, a shot can go anywhere within the cone, and the cone's height is based on the range stat. Aim assist, or target acquisition as it's called in Destiny, also helps your shot and makes it a bit more forgiving regardless of your input method, mouse and keyboard or controller. So as much as bloom might negatively impact your shot, ultimately occurring in a miss, aim assist would be able to correct it and make that a hit. The faster your fire and the lower your range, the greater the accuracy cone blooms out, and since your shots can hit anywhere in the cone, including not on your target, that's why shots seemingly disappear. This is just my own speculation based on using the Lucky Pants, but I believe based on using it, Lucky Pants slightly tightens your initial accuracy and keeps the accuracy very close to that level for the entirety of the 3-second duration, regardless of how many times you fire your hand cannon and regardless of how fast you're firing it. This essentially means that your hand cannon is going to feel pinpoint accurate and have much more consistent shot registration at range. Basically, it feels great. And again, you have to use it or try it to see the real difference. We can see the perk in action while firing from the hip. While the buff is active, we see little to no change in the crosshairs regardless of how many shots we fire. But after the buff is gone, the crosshairs expand to what they would normally behave like. Now that we have an idea of how Lucky Pants work, let's get into the weapon synergy and how Lucky Pants ties each of these weapons together. Let's start with Crimson. Firstly, of all the hand cannons I've used with Lucky Pants, I've noticed the biggest difference with Crimson. The Titan accuracy makes each bullet of the burst land with ease, and each shot registers flawlessly, even at extended ranges. It takes this weapon from feeling like a burst hand cannon to what feels like a pulse rifle without sacrificing its versatility. Of course, you can use other hand cannons if you so choose, but I've seemed to get the most benefit from using Crimson with this loadout. We pair Crimson with the Ikelos SMG for a few reasons. Ikelos SMG has very high handling, which allows you to swap between it and Crimson very quickly. Lucky Pants does not affect the swap speed of anything but hand cannons, so having a high handling secondary is important in my opinion. You can run double hand cannon, as some people might suggest with Lucky Pants, however I think this is more detrimental as it sacrifices your loadout's versatility and ranges that it can cover. And also the buff cancels each other out. If you swap while the buff is active, it'll cancel it and not activate on the next hand cannon you swap to. Pairing the Crimson with the Ikelos SMG allows us to have a good mid to long range weapon and a very good close range weapon. We can take advantage of the high handling of the Ikelos SMG by being able to swap from Crimson to the SMG and right back to Crimson very quickly and continuously activate that accuracy buff for Crimson. The idea here is to utilize the quick draw for Crimson from Lucky Pants and the incredibly high handling of the Ikelos SMG so we can rapidly swap between the two weapons and continuously reactivate the Lucky Pants accuracy buff for Crimson, giving us as much uptime with the weapon at pinpoint accuracy as possible. This is only half the reason to be using the combo of Crimson and the Ikelos SMG though. Ikelos SMG has Disruption Break, a perk that, which upon breaking shields, places a debuff on enemies that causes kinetic weapons to do more damage to them. Breaking the shield with the Ikelos SMG will allow you to kill in one burst to the body with Crimson and regain health after the engagement. If you prefer a more lethal approach to this, you can also do this with kill clip hand cannons like the Old Fashioned. However, Old Fashioned being a 140 RPM hand cannon, at this moment in time it cannot one body to kill after the Ikelos debuff activates, whereas the Crimson can and makes that a little bit better in my opinion. When using the Ikelos SMG, you can of course hold down the trigger to shoot in full auto, but when you break a target's shields, you can keep your trigger held down, then swap weapons to the Crimson, which will be instantly drawn out. But if you keep the trigger held down, it'll fire the first burst of Crimson near instantly. And of course, that has the ability to kill in one body burst if you've broken the target's shields with the Ikelos SMG. This isn't always practical and may slow down your potential TTK, but I think it's got an interesting ability to always get your health back after a fight. And if you feel like you can pull it off, you'll be immediately ready for the next engagement. Of course, having full health. Disruption Break is also very good for countering the ever popular infamous Wormhusk helmet. Even if an opponent gains their shield or health back by wormhusking or even devouring, the debuff will persist and allow Crimson to kill in 3 body bursts or even 3 body shots from my 140 hand cannon. Of course, the quick draw from Lucky Pants will allow you to swap near instantly to your hand cannon in the kinetic slot, giving you an easier time in taking advantage of the Disruption Break perk and dealing with some Wormhusk users. Now we can talk about how Crimson, Lucky Pants, and Truth Teller work together. Personally, I absolutely hate grenade launchers, but I feel like this is actually a crazy good use, if the only use, for Lucky Pants. Truth Teller has quick draw, which of course allows you to swap from or to it very quickly, just as Crimson does with Lucky Pants. This means that you're able to shoot your grenade launcher and swap weapons to both instantly switch to Crimson, and by swapping, detonate the grenade from the grenade launcher when you want, and you can keep the trigger held with Crimson and one burst to the body to clean the target up, which of course lets you regain health. Thanks to the buff from Lucky Pants, you can even keep Crimson in hipfire to land the burst. Ultimately, this results in an extremely fast kill, where your enemy will be concussed and as a result not be able to aim back at you in the time that you can kill them in. I think this is actually pretty insane. Truth Teller can swap very quickly back to Crimson, but swapping can also detonate the grenade, then trigger the accuracy buff for Crimson, which doesn't even have to ADS to clean up a lot of the kills because of the accuracy buff. It can fire insanely quickly to clean up the kill for whatever health they have left after being hit by a grenade launcher. They probably can't even aim back at you in the time that you're going to kill them, and on top of it, you're gaining your health back, and if you get a precision hit, reloading Crimson. Again, I just think that's crazy. However, if you're looking to take a slightly more skilled approach to this loadout, it works just as well for using a sniper, and if you happen to hit a body shot, you can quickly swap to a hand cannon for a cleanup. Again, I mentioned some snipers at the beginning of the video that this will work well with because of having quick draw or high handling. So guys, that's my loadout. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I found an actual legitimate use for Lucky Pants, and I'm really enjoying it, to be honest. I still want them to buff these to give them a little bit more added bonuses compared to some other exotics, and maybe more uptime on that hand cannon accuracy buff because it feels so damn good. Oh, and I forgot to mention to improve the quick draw to work while sprinting because for whatever reason it doesn't. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and feel free to suggest any ideas or things you'd want me to make a loadout for. As always, it's Drew today, and I'll catch you guys later.